Perhaps we should have used our first mover advantage to, as they said in the dot-com days, monetize the eyeballs, but I didn't want to be the face of the SEC. I wanted the SEC to do their job, which was to make the EDGAR database available to the public on the internet for free and in an at least moderately clueful manner. So I pulled the plug. A sign appeared on the web server saying this service will terminate in 60 days. Click here for more information. When you clicked, you got a page with source code, usage stats, cost figures, and configurations to run the system, and a series of click here links if you felt the termination of the system would somehow inconvenience you. The first click here link was click here to send mail to Newt Gingrich, the hip young Speaker of the House. The next was click here to send mail to Al Gore, the hip young Vice President. They both had email accounts and we're very proud of them. The third click here link was click here to send mail to the chairman of the SEC. Chairman Arthur Levitt, a grand old man of finance, didn't have an email address, so we created one for him. A couple of days later, the 17,000 messages he received were printed and delivered to the SEC front desk. Coincidentally, the SEC had scheduled an EDGAR Industry Day meeting, which we weren't invited to, so we crashed it. After some theatrics, one of the commissioners came up and asked me simple questions, like how much would it cost to run the service, and who the users were. The commissioner evidently briefed the chairman, because that evening Chairman Levitt called the Associated Press and the Wall Street Journal and said that the SEC was going to offer this EDGAR database on the internet. The filings weren't a product. They were the glue that make our financial markets work efficiently by requiring corporations to disclose information to the public. The next day, the chief of staff called up and said that while he fully supported his chairman, there was one hitch, and that was that there was no way they could procure a computer in 60 days. And besides, their internet line had been installed but didn't seem to be working. Could we extend the deadline? I said the deadline was firm. The chief of staff ended up signing a loaner agreement. We put some sunboxes in the back of a station wagon, drove down to SEC headquarters, and helped them configure their Cisco router and T1 line. They were up and running by the deadline. The computer staff ended up being tickled pink. They were running the U.S. government's busiest web server and were getting tons of fan mail from their adoring public.